Well, good morning, friends. Spring is here, and it's time to start direct sowing some of our seeds out in our earth bed. I got a little special tool I want to share with you today. We'll be right back after the break. Well, welcome back, friends. I've always been a believer in giving credit where credit is due, and my daddy always used a piece of 1-inch PVC pipe to plant seeds when he was direct sowing, and he didn't have to bend his back, and I thought that was pretty cool. I learned it when I was a little kid, and I always did it that way. And if many of you have seen my videos over the years, you've always seen me using a piece of 1-inch PVC pipe and sticking it in the furrow and dropping a seed at the top of it, and it goes directly in the hole. You know, but my daddy, he had great big old hands, and he could put seeds in his hand, and he would hold that PVC pipe with his thumb, and he'd walk down the furrow and he'd just open his hand out and drop one in, open his hand, drop one in. And I've always done it that way just because that's how I saw him do it, and I never really gave it much thought. But my hands ain't as big as Daddy's, and what happens with me is I get the seed, I tend to spill seeds here and there, so you'll see seeds in between my rows a lot of times, and that's because I'm spilling them. But there's a friend of mine, Danny, over at Deep South Homestead. Danny and Wanda are some good folks. They have a YouTube channel called Deep South Homestead. I'm sure many of you have already seen their channel. They've been around for many years. Actually, when me and Nancy started our Homestead channel several years ago, Danny and Wanda reached out to us and encouraged us, and you know, were real nice to us, and they've always been good folks to us personally, and they have a great channel. Miss Wanda does a lot of cooking recipes, and Danny has a lot of gardening tips and animals, and I mean they the total package, man. They're good folks. So if you've never seen Danny and Wanda over at Deep South Homestead, go over to their channel and check them out. I think you'll like them. But anyway, I had my what I always called my super duper seed dropper, nothing but a piece of 1-inch PVC pipe. And Danny came out with a video not too long ago, and I just happened to see it come across the feed, and he was dropping the seeds through the pipe, and he had taken a coffee can and mounted it on the top of that pipe so he could pour his seeds in that coffee can while it's attached to the pipe, and he could walk down the furrow and he can take a seed and drop it in, and it's hands free. And I said, leave it to Danny to come up with something like that. It was ingenious, you know. And he has all kinds of little tips and tricks like that. But anyway, I wanted to build off of what Danny had. He had a great idea, but here's my version of what Danny did. I took my PVC pipe, and I put a T here, made a handle on it, similar to what Danny did, and I got a stainless steel bucket from a pet store. This is just a cheap little old flat-sided bucket, and I drilled a hole in the bottom of the bucket with a hole saw so my pipe would go through the bottom of the bucket. Then I came up to the top rim of the bucket and I put in a U-bolt, and I drilled a couple holes and attached that, which secured the pipe to the bucket, and it's very rigid and strong. It's not going to move at all. And I like having the bucket because it has a little handle on here, so I can hang it up when it's not in use. I can just go hang it up somewhere in the barn or whatever. But this is my version of my super duper seed dropper, using Danny's idea of attaching a container to the top. So now it's springtime here, and starting tomorrow I'm going to start direct sowing my earth bed, and that's a lot of direct sowing. By using this, I can take the tip of the pipe, put it right down in the furrow, pour my seeds in my bucket, just take out a seed, drop it right in the top of the pipe. It goes right into the furrow exactly where I want it. Take another seed and drop it in, and you just keep walking down the furrow, and I never have to bend my back. You know, I've got a really bad back and injured it a couple of years ago, and I'm still having trouble with it, and terrible knees. And Mr. Danny, he was expressing that he has the same injury, which motivated him to come up with a good design so he doesn't have to bend his back as well. But Danny, I'm sorry to hear that your back's hurting and your knees and everything. So me and Nancy, we got you in our prayers, brother. We hope you get to feeling better. And we want to thank you, Danny, for giving me this tremendous idea of putting a container and attaching it to the top of the pipe. That makes life a lot better. So anyway, we thank you. We thank y'all for watching. We look forward to using this for many years. So until me and Nancy see you out in the earth bed planting some direct sowing with a super duper seed dropper, always remember, by his hands we are fed. Give us, Lord, our daily bread. Amen.
Have a blessed day.